For the first time in 34 days, the defending national champions will actually play a game on campus. Tonight, we are inside Gamble Pavilion, where the Providence Friars visit the 14th-ranked Connecticut Huskies. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi, along with Megan Kumo. Thanks so much for joining us for UConn's Big East home opener. Through the first 10 games of the season, perhaps the best word to describe UConn's play has been inconsistent. And Megan, a good example is freshman Sade Houston, so-so at times, downright brilliant at others.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's a shorter Tamika Williams, but with a lot more scoring options, and she has got such great timing on the defensive end, blocking shots. And look at the way she can elevate and rip down rebounds, but is such a good ball handler, they can get the break started. And we know how elusive she is on the offensive end, getting to the bucket and scoring. Now, regardless of her practice habits, Gino Auriemma has to play her because she's not going to score any points sitting on the bench.
For Providence, it has been a struggle. The Friars are 1-11 and lost 26 in a row before beating Troy on Thursday. There's no question who has been the most consistent Friar.
Oh, absolutely. Shauna Snyder, the 5'10 sophomore forward, has been a rock for the Friars, averaging 12 points a game. She had 14 in that big win over Troy, and they held Troy scoreless the last 6:30 of that game. They're going to need a big one here tonight.
And UConn would love to receive a second straight solid effort from freshman Mel Thomas, who had career highs of 12 points and 6 rebounds Sunday against St. John's. Can she do it again tonight against Providence? The opening tip is next. Welcome back to Gamble Pavilion, and the first of 2 meetings this season between UConn and Providence. Let's check the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Friars, Jill Furstenberg has averaged 10 points since returning to the lineup after missing 8 games with an ankle injury. She'll be in the backcourt along with Allie Gard and Christina Ball. Up front are Shauna Snyder and Kristen Brown. For UConn, Jessica Moore equaled her season high with 9 rebounds Sunday against St. John's. She's in the front court with Wilnut Crockett. In the backcourt are Ann Strother, Ashley Valley, and Mel Thomas. Susan Yao is in her 3rd season as coach at Providence. She is the younger sister of North Carolina State Hall of Fame coach Kay Yao. And UConn's Gino Auriemma has the highest career won-loss percentage of any active coach in the country. But Megan, tonight Gino will be without his leading scorer, Barbara Turner.
Yeah, and it's not for the reasons that one might think. You see, she's not even dressed. She's had a pain in her foot. They're just taking some precautionary measures right now and is not going to play this game. It's just a day-to-day situation.
And of course, with Tennessee coming up on Saturday at the Civic Center, we shall keep our eye on that situation. UConn has controlled the recent history of this series. Providence has not beaten the Huskies since 1993. Jessica Moore controls the tap. Kathy Lynch, Joanne Aldridge, and Bruce Morris are the officials, and Crockett puts UConn on the board.
And once again, and I've been saying this every game, it's so important for the Huskies to score in their first possession and start well offensively, because as we all know, that's where they're struggling this year.
UConn has a huge height advantage over Providence. Witness Moore at 6'3", the center, is guarding the 5'10" Furstenberg, who's probably Providence's best player. Although you would never know it by the shot selection on that sequence. Valley to Strother on the left. Good quick ball movement. Down low, Crockett tries to take advantage of her size advantage.
Yeah, and there's just no way any of the Friars are going to be able to stop Crockett inside. She's too big, too strong, and she's back wearing the shoulder brace today. Wasn't wearing it on Sunday. UConn
with its 7th different starting lineup of the season tonight. 10 of the Huskies' 12 players have started at least one game. Everyone but Sade Houston and Rashida Sadiq. Christina Ball being guarded by the 6'2" Crockett. Snyder with Strother's hand in her face. Here's Thomas getting her 4th straight start at point guard. Strother down low Moore. This time it's Moore over Snyder. Kick out to Valley. Her 2nd straight start, and it's 6-0.
Nice pump fake by Ashley Valley. Got the defense off her feet and attacked the basket. Textbook.
UConn won its Big East opener, beating St. John's 60-32 on Sunday. Providence lost its conference opener at Villanova 45-34 on Sunday. Furstenberg with the shot clock inside 10. trying to get around Moore. Now it finally gets a screen from Brown and leaves for Brown. Didn't hit the rim. It's a shot clock violation.
Another good defensive possession for the Huskies.
And Susan Yao wants to go to her bench. She only has 8 players available for duty tonight. And one of them is Sierra Shields, 6-foot freshman from Brooklyn, New York, who will replace Brown, and that makes Providence even smaller. Moore to Crockett. Huskies 7-3 overall. Moore, nice cut for the basket without the ball. Up high to Moore. Puts it on the floor, guarded by Shields. Now the shot clock's inside 10. Crockett on the floor. Can't get it to go, and the rebound comes down to Danielle Howard. So Providence has already played 7 of its 8 available players in the first 2:30. Furstenberg to Snyder. Back to Furstenberg. Low block to Shields.
Well, Thomas working hard in the lane defensively.
Snyder with the miss. Rebound Valley. Moore comes away. 2-on-2 if they hurry. But Strother juggled the pass. Friars 0 for 3 from the floor in the first 3 minutes. Thomas goes around the Moore screen, and as she goes baseline, the blocking foul on Shields. So the Huskies will inbound beneath their own basket.
The spacing wasn't terrific on that possession. Good thing there was no injury there. Clearly a block.
Moore to Crockett, getting her 6th start of the year. Didn't start Sunday against St. John's. Thomas for 3, and her struggles from behind the arc continue.
You hear the collective sigh from the crowd.
Crowd's aware of her struggles. She's now 6 of 35 from 3-point range. Still very early in her collegiate career. This is only her 11th game. Furstenberg. Strother and Howard really going at it in the low post. Strother's fronting her. Great anticipation. Crockett got the steal. Valley to Thomas. Can't finish. Moore with the putback.
Good hustle by Jessica Moore to finish and get to the glass. Good energy by the Huskies.
8-0 UConn lead. Last February when Providence came to Gamble, the Huskies had a 30-0 first half run en route to a 79-38 victory.
You know, Bob, Huskies right now after that turnover by the Friars, proving that they don't miss Barber too much on an 8-0 run.
Gino Auriemma's club shooting 57% from the floor in the first 4 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to introduce our contestants to the Cisco.
This is the 900th game in the history of the women's basketball program at UConn, and Megan, the Huskies, and one in particular, off to a terrific start.
Oh yeah, of the 8 points, this young lady, Wilnette Crockett, has got half of them, and when you get positioned like this in the lane, it's easy to see why. I mean, she just buries the defense and has an array of post moves, but Wilnette Crockett is so strong. The strongest player on this team, and she's just so wide when she posts up inside.
Leading rebounder for the Huskies, averaging 6.9 per game. Thomas finds Strother at the baseline. Back out top to Thomas. Valley and Thomas, the starting combination at the guard spots for the 2nd game in a row. Now the shot clock's all the way down to 5. Strother over Furstenberg. Good box out for Furstenberg, and Strother fouls her.
That was a terrific box out by Furstenberg. A little frustration by Strother because she shot that ball because the shot clock was expiring and then wanted it back and wanted to shoot it better, and then just went through Furstenberg because she was frustrated.
Susan Yao told me Furstenberg has the best basketball IQ on our team, a great work ethic, and it's contagious. She knows how to get the ball to the right people. And a silly reach-in foul by Crockett about 30 feet from the basket. Sometimes basketball is about geography, and that wasn't a very good geographic foul.
But you know what? When you see that ball out there, and especially if you've had a steal already, you just think, I can get that.
Yep. Kind of like the defensive back in football. How often do we see them intercept passes on 4th down instead of knocking it down?
Yep.
Instinct. And Howard gets Providence on the board. It took 4 minutes and 57 seconds. Down low, Crockett wants to go at Howard. Howard blocked the shot, but fouled her with the body. First on her, and number 2 on the Friars.
There you see the Friars offensively. Howard inside with 2 people on her, but did a nice job of tracking down the offensive rebound, was not blocked out.
So Crockett will go to the line. She has struggled as well as all the Huskies. We mentioned the 26-game losing streak. Susan Yao said, honestly, I had no idea it was that many in a row because I'm so preoccupied by trying to make us better each day. We can't worry about wins and losses. The greatest challenge is keeping a positive attitude.
And that's the truth. You know, even back in '95 when UConn went 35-0, I was a coach. We had no idea it was even close to that because you don't think about the numbers.
UConn was 35-0 because you were the coach. That's Strother's 28th 3 of the year, second most in the Big East. Got to hand it to Megan. She went out on top.
Absolutely.
Won it 35-0, then she hung him up for good. Howard with her second foul, this one at the offensive end. 3 on the Friars.
And as you know, we mentioned how Providence only has 8 players, and the last thing you want is your 6'3" center on the bench with 2 fouls with 14 minutes and 34 seconds here to play in the first half.
Ashley Battle, Sharday Houston have checked in for the first time for the Huskies. Battle finds Strother. Battle on the left, feeds Houston down low. Howard's already got 2 fouls. Can't stop Houston. Houston 10 points, 5 rebounds, and a career high equaling 4 block shots on Sunday against St. John's. Down low, Shields got position but then lost her footing, but Houston touched it last.
That's why that lob pass on that straight angle is tough. It's got to be perfect.
17 seconds left in the shot clock for the Friars. Shields up top to Christina Ball. Pass deflected by Houston. 13 seconds left on the shot clock.
Thankfully for the Huskies, Houston was quick with the hands because Furstenberg was forgotten about as she came in from inbounding the ball and was wide open in the low post.
Furstenberg missed the first 8 games with an ankle injury. This is her 5th game back, and she'll get a timeout to avoid a 5-second call. With 13:58 to go in the half, Susan Yao will talk things over, and her club down by 12 already. Gino Auriemma not wearing the sweater.
Yeah, he
lied what he told
to
us
me
in
the other
post-game
night.
interview.
Well, you know, he's got to be feeling a little bit better. I like the way the offense is looking. Look, it started on the right side. It goes to the left. The double screen for Ann Strother, who wasn't open, but then look, Jess Moore working hard in the, or rather Sharday Houston working hard in the post. A nice turnaround jumper. You know, we're talking about trying to get the flow offensively for the Huskies. It's important to have the ball go side to side and then inside as well.
Huskies shooting 60% from the floor in the early going. They have struggled with their shooting this year, although they're still 3rd best in the Big East at 45.9%, but certainly in the loss to Michigan State last week, they really had difficulty knocking down an open shot. Shot a season low 33%. 13 seconds left on the shot clock for the Friars. Christina Ball back to the inbound passer. Furstenberg missed the shot. Long rebound on a hop to Ashley Battle. Battle finds Thomas. Cross court, knocked away by Shields. And then Thomas makes it worse by knocking Shields down and picking up the foul.
See, those are the little things that lead to bigger things. Now, the bad pass initially from Thomas set that up, and then she tried to recover for it and completely body blocked. I don't even know who she hit there.
I think it was Shields.
Yeah.
Pass into the post is deflected away, and Thomas with that great hustle knocks it away. A held ball created by Shields, arrow pointing toward Providence. And now Susan Yao has used every available player as Julia Sarabrinskaya checks in.
Hey, the couple hands tipping the ball, and who else? Mel Thomas down on the floor. Diving, her knee, you gotta see her knees too. We'll at some point show you. Her left knee in particular has got bruises all over it.
Off the inbound, Snyder hits the right side jumper. Her first 2, Huskies by 10. Snyder leading scorer for Providence, averaging 12.9 per game. Strother up top. Houston, tic-tac-toe.
Once again, good spacing, good timing, and that's where the repetition in practice pays off. You know, that timing wasn't there early in the year. The two freshmen, nice connection there.
Sarabinskaya rejected by Houston. She had 4 of them the other day. Snyder with the miss, rebound one-handed to Battle. 7 minutes gone, UConn by a dozen. Strother down low to Crockett, goes right around Sarabinskaya. Missed the layup, and Sarabinskaya with the rebound. Gonna start calling her Julia, I think.
I think it's easier.
Ball.
Yeah, well, it's important to know her first name is not Sarah.
Right. It could be. We could agree on that. Left side ball, foot was on the line. Rebound to Houston. She'll give to her fellow freshman Thomas, and here come the Huskies. Battle to Strother. Up high to Crockett. Strother on the right, defended by Furstenberg. Down low, Crockett spins, even lower to Battle.
What a pass. Great court awareness from Wilnette Crockett. And a smart play by Ashley Battle to not give up and cut to the hoop.
Crockett already with 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist in the first 8 minutes. Huskies by 14.
She's doing it all, Bob, with one arm.
Yep. She's had that chronic shoulder injury. It's probably not going to get any better until the offseason. Strother with the steal. Can Furstenberg cut her off? And Susan Yao wants timeout with UConn up 20-4 with 11:33 to go in the half. Friars have now turned the ball over 5 times. And the last turnover resulting in the Strother layup and her 4th and 5th points of the night.
Well, again, Huskies defensively are just so difficult to contend with. But once again, when Wilnette Crockett catches the ball inside, you think score, but what a nice pass. And then Strother stepped in the passing lane nicely and kept the head up to finish and didn't worry about the defense coming to potentially foul.
This is UConn's first game at Gamble since December 1st when they beat USF in the only overtime game ever played here at Gamble. This is the 3rd of 7 games here this year. They're playing 9 home games at the Civic Center, including the next one Saturday at 2 o'clock against 10th ranked Tennessee, the annual Battle of the Titans, both who are struggling a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Early going. Tennessee has won 6 national championships and UConn has won 5.
Tennessee losing to Rutgers last week.
And away from the play, we're going to get a foul. I think that's on Howard, and it's her 3rd. Bad news for a short-handed Providence club. Howard will have to leave with 3 fouls.
UConn looking strong tonight.
Just a couple of members of the 85th consecutive sellout crowd here at Gamble Pavilion.
Well, Bob, the Sox and the Patriots may have won, but some folks in New England are fearful of losing their distinctive accent. Follow journalist Robert McNeil on the trail of our sometimes hard to understand, ever-evolving language. Do you speak American? Tomorrow night at 8 on CPTV.
That would be the Sox, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
the Sox and the Pats.
I couldn't even begin, being from the Philadelphia area.
I've lived in Connecticut for 30 years, and I can't do that as well as some of our lifelong New England brethren can.
I don't understand how the men's team sometimes understands Jim Calhoun. His accent is so strong.
Well, they pretend that they do. They just nod, say, yes, coach. Thomas, down low, Crockett spins, lays it up, no good. Houston with the rebound, and then Crockett will be called for an over-the-back foul, I think. Yep. Her 2nd, and 4 on the team.
And that'll get her a seat on the bench.
Jessica Moore will replace Crockett. Providence with only 4 points, 9 minutes in. St. John's scored only 8 points in the first half Sunday against UConn. That tied the 2nd fewest first half points ever allowed by a UConn team.
Yeah, and St. John's is clearly a better team than UConn made them look on Sunday.
St. John's was 11-0 for the first time ever. Snyder, no good. Rebound, Sarabinskaya, and Moore blocked it. Valley cross court, and dangerously close to being picked off by Allie Guard.
Well, and here's what, Gino Auriemma, all he had to do was just scream, hey. But now, think about it. You make that pass, and it nearly gets stolen against Providence. Well, against Tennessee next weekend, that's a bucket on the other end.
Thomas, great cut by Moore.
Nice back cut by Jess Moore. Reading the defense. The defense was trailing. Nice curl cut.
18-point Husky lead. Providence 1-13 here at Gamble Pavilion over the years. Cross-court pass, Snyder with Houston's hand in her face.
Shona Snyder.
Quickly the other way, Ashley Valley. And she'll draw the blocking foul on Snyder. That will be her first and number 5 on the Friars. Providence not only lost 26 games in a row, but Megan, when they beat Troy to end that nightmare on Thursday, it was exactly 1 year to the day since their last win. They had gone almost an entire year, 1 day shy of an entire year without a win.
That's unbelievable. I'm glad they got that win. And, they're going to continue to get better. Susan Yao is going to continue to recruit kids, bring them in. It's a tough situation. It's impressive. You just got to keep that positive attitude.
Right.
It's frustrating.
Well, she told me all the losing made me begin to press. That wasn't helping anyone. And once I sat down and looked over and over at our roster and realized how young we are, I decided I needed to see things with a new perspective. Have to keep the kids coming to practice each day with a positive attitude, especially in a game like this. I mean, realistically, they know they have no chance of beating UConn. You look for small steps.
That's it. It's the little victories along the way.
Furstenberg with the miss. Nicole Wolf, who was checked in, gets the rebound. And she gives to Thomas. 9:15 remaining first half. Huskies by 18. These two teams will meet again on February 5th in Providence, downtown at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. Valley with the miss and a good box out by Guard, deflecting the rebound to Brown. Guard, left side Furstenberg. Back up top to Christina Ball. Furstenberg goes around Valley, draws the double team. Cross court right into the hands of Wolf, but she couldn't hang on, and it goes over to baseline.
Substitution for Providence.
Huskies doing a good job of trapping the ball on that possession.
Well, see, the nice thing about that double team is the end line actually works as a third defender in that trap because there's nowhere to go.
Ball inbounds baseline to Furstenberg. Defended by Thomas. Shot clock down to 1, and they're not going to get it off. 7th turnover for Providence.
For Connecticut, number 11, Keisha Soignier, replacing number
Keisha Soignier enters for the Huskies. This is the 5th different head coaching job that Susan Yao has had in her collegiate career. Started out at East Tennessee State, then Drake, then Kansas State, then UNC Wilmington. And in between, an assistant stint in the WNBA with both the Charlotte and Cleveland franchises. Providence dead last in the Big East in turnover margin, continuing that trend tonight. Valley feeds the low block to Houston. Soignier with a rare field goal attempt.
And how about knocks it in? She's got to become a scoring threat. Now, obviously, she'll work on that in the offseason.
Only her 15th shot of the season in this 11 games. She started the first 5 games, and her playing time has been reduced considerably. Wide open look for Snyder. Long rebound on a hop to Wolf. Here comes Soignier, and I don't think anybody's going to catch it.
Yeah, such explosive speed, Soignier.
Lead is up to 22, so Soignier with 4 quick points off the bench. Those are her first baskets since the Hartford game way back on December 7th. Rebound Houston. The Friars now 3 of 17 from the floor. Wolf, good change of pace on the dribble, but she double dribbled.
Into the Providence lineup.
Only the 2nd turnover for the Huskies. Boy, if UConn can get some offense out of Keisha Soignier, that'll make them a much better team. She's got 4 points already. It's been all UConn so far, and Megan, the Huskies getting a lift off the bench from Keisha Soignier.
Yeah, I mean, who could use confidence more than this young lady right now? You know, was put into the starting lineup early in the season and has seen the bench quite a bit of late, but nice aggressive play. The strong dribble to the center of the key was wide open, and then the nice fast break opportunity exploded out ahead of everybody. And a nice left-handed finish. I think with Keisha now not having the pressure of starting, I think every opportunity she gets in the games, more confidence will grow each and every game, and this will help her, I think, immensely, because she's still going to be a key person on this team as the season progresses.
Well, she got her hand on that pass. Down low, Snyder lays it in with 7 minutes to go. Huskies with a little 2-3 zone on that Friars possession. Wolf, left side Valley. Again, UConn without Barbara Turner tonight, sitting out the game with a sore foot.
And
Strother hits the little fade.
I'd like to see Ann Strother shoot the ball more from the post position. There, she caught the ball in the middle of the lane, the turnaround fadeaway jumper. She's terrific in the lane.
She's got 7. I'd like to see her shoot the ball more, period. She's taken 4 shots tonight in the first 13 minutes. Into the post,
Nice
Sarah
pass.
Brinskaya got inside Houston.
Well, a nice pass inside from Allie Gard. She fired it in there.
Wolf looking for Houston. Sarah Brinskaya trying to push her a little bit further away from the block. Valley. Up high, Strother. Great
Nice.
cut by Valley, and Strother found her. And the foul. What a pretty pass.
And once again, folks, that is just reading the defense and having done this 1,000 times before. That was just pretty. A nice give and go.
Foul on Baugh, her first 6 on the team, and Valley goes to the line for only the 5th time this year. She knocks it down. The Huskies have now assisted on 9 of their first 14 baskets and are shooting 63.6% from the floor.
Yeah, it's a far cry from the 33% we saw a couple weeks ago.
And against Michigan State. Furstenberg. Defended by Wolf. Shot clock inside 10, and that one is airmailed into the official scorers table. Stacey Marin checks in, and the look on Susan Yao's face says it all. Susan was a terrific player, Megan, as you know, at North Carolina State, and in fact was named to the ACC's 50th anniversary team, which always puzzles me because women's basketball hasn't been around for 50 years. The ACC has, though.
Yeah, when you think about how many great players have come out of the ACC.
And continue to do so.
Quite an honor, absolutely.
Duke currently ranked number 2 in the country behind LSU. LSU will play at Rutgers tomorrow night as Rutgers tries to complete the sweep of its murderous row, beating Tennessee and then Texas.
Can they pull off the trifecta?
Sarah Brinskaya, 3-second call on the native of Ukraine. So the Huskies lead by 23. These are the latest rankings released earlier tonight. Notre Dame heads the contingent of Big East teams. We see that ACC presence with Duke and North Carolina. Big Ten has 5 teams in the top 25. Wolf for 3. Rebound Moore, bats it out to her teammate Marin. Good court awareness by Moore. She knew she was taller and she knew there was an open teammate. She got it to her. Soignier with a pretty feed to Houston, or a battle rather.
Yeah, Providence is calling for the travel. They may be right. I think AB got away with a few steps down low.
So the lead is up to 25 for the Huskies. Snyder with Wolf's hand in her face.
Nicole tried to go down from the foul line extended to the corner.
And Battle gets the answer at the other end in transition.
Well, AB is limping. The left foot coming back. I don't know if she landed funny.
Soigné with the steal, her team leading 18th. 3-on-3. Gives to Wolf in the corner inside the 4-minute mark. Up top to Marin. Moore hands to Wolf, then sets the pretty screen. Rebound in traffic, pulled down by Snyder. Furstenberg will walk it out of the backcourt.
Tell you, Kristen Brown there with the ball, she looks exhausted.
Well, Brown played 39 minutes Sunday against Villanova. Furstenberg played all 40. Snyder played all 40.
But you know, when you're getting bumped around in the lane like they are every possession against the big guys for UConn, that takes a lot out of you.
Third steal for Soigné. Great hesitation on the dribble and a pretty feed inside the battle, but she didn't finish. Soigné's been terrific tonight.
Yeah, she really has. She's not, and again, I think a lot of it is because some of the pressure has been taken off of her shoulders, not having to start and lead this team and be the first point guard since Sue Bird, blah, blah, blah. She can just come in and play now.
She was the first point guard freshman to start on opening night at the point since Sue Bird in '98. Moore tries to save the rebound and does.
Yeah, wisely threw it right to Nicole Wolf.
Left side, Marin. Low block, Moore, fouled from behind by Sarah Brinskaya. Her first and number 7 on the Friars. UConn shooting 57% from the floor has opened up a 24-point lead.
Well, folks, Thursday at 8, witness the rise, demise, and rebirth of the revered Silver Thread, the California Zephyr. Enjoy the views both inside this historic train and the rugged western landscape it cut through on the award-winning film Silver Thread Through the West. Thursday at 8.
Well, UConn has used 4 different starting point guards this year.
And now there are so many people who are appreciating everything that she did. I mean, she never turned the ball over. She ran the offense. She knocked down open shots.
And, oh, by the way, she played in 4 Final Fours and 3 national championship teams.
Yeah,
Just a coincidence.
Not too many people can say that. I mean, the kid has won everywhere she has played.
A tremendous, 60-something game winning streak.
Yep.
At Seymour High School, right? Maria at Seymour High broke the state of Connecticut records for the most 3-point field goals in a season and in a career.
She's made Connecticut very proud. And now she's a nervous wreck coaching on the bench as a student assistant. She's thinking, I wonder if she'll have any nails at all left on any finger.
As we approach the 2-minute mark, UConn leads it by 26. Furstenberg tried to force it into the post, knocked away by the Huskies. So Snyder will inbound. We apologize for the audio difficulties that we are experiencing. We are working feverishly to rectify that situation and hope to do so shortly. Rebound by Sarah Brinskaya, gets a fresh 30 on the shot clock for the Friars. Ball finds Snyder on the left. Nice look inside to Sarah Brinskaya.
I tell you, the Friars have moved the ball well against this zone and found Sarah Brinskaya inside on a couple of occasions.
39-15, Huskies by 24. Rashida Sadiq is checked in for UConn, so Gina Auriemma has played every available player tonight. Again, Barbara Turner missing the game with a sore foot. How long she'll be out, unknown. Marin threw it away and then immediately fouled Snyder, her first, and 5 on the Huskies. And there's a look at Barbara Turner, who could have been a big night tonight, Meg, for Barbara. She needs only 9 points to reach the 1,000-point mark.
Yeah, it's too bad. And, you know, the Huskies are hoping that this is the only game she's going to miss. It's more of a precautionary measure.
Well, Thomas stole it and was about to carry it over the sideline, so she just heaves it up the court. Better you do that than back toward the basket you're defending.
Yeah, heads-up play by Thomas. Also hoping maybe one of her teammates could have tracked it down. It's hard with Keisha Soignier in the bench. She might have been the only one.
I once saw Karan Butler of UConn make the most amazing play I've ever seen in my life on a similar play. Oh, the three for Kristen Brown.
Only her third of the season. And a couple minutes ago, I thought that poor child was so tired she couldn't even get up and down.
Shot clock inside 20. Houston with the miss, and Brown deflects the rebound to Sarah Brinskaya, and the shot clock is off. Friars don't have to worry about this being the lowest scoring half of the season. That was not a good idea with that much time left on the game clock. Providence scored 14 points and a half against Gonzaga and LaSalle. The Huskies get a pair for Mel Thomas, and that'll end the half. So a very strong first half for UConn, jumping out of the gates with an 8-0 lead, shooting 56.7% from the floor, and without their leading scorer, Barbara Turner, opening up a 23-point lead at halftime. UConn has won 109 consecutive regular season games against Big East opponents at home. They lead at 41-18. That's right. I'm Bob Picozzi. Welcome back to Gamble Pavilion, where UConn leads Providence 41-18. Big first half for the Huskies. Associate head coach Chris Daly is standing by with Megan Kumo. Meg?
Bob, thank you very much. CD, I got to ask you, Barbara Turner, what's the story?
You know, she had some pain in her foot and she had it checked out today, and I really know the results. You know, she's in the boot, which seems to be standard for our players at least once or twice a year, and hopefully it's nothing serious.
Well, obviously, defensively, you guys are strong as ever, holding Providence to 18 points, but offensively shooting 57%. You got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I thought we got out on the break and we scored in transition, which was nice to see, and then we made some shots, which is also helpful. And you know, going into the next stretch of games we have, it's good for us to have some confidence.
Yeah, it's helpful to make more shots than you miss, and make more than the
other team. And we didn't have a lot of turnovers. We only had 3 turnovers, so we were getting shots. Jess and Will, I thought, did a great job of keeping the ball alive, and so those were all positive things.
All right, I hope it continues for you in the second half.
All right, back to you, Bob.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. It's the most points scored in the first half for UConn since they got 51 on opening night against Buffalo. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Shauna Snyder is Providence's leading scorer this season and leading scorer in the first half, as she gets 2 of her 9 here off the nice feed inside from Allie Gard. At the other end, check out the Huskies passing. Ann Strother to Ashley Battle to Sharday Houston, who had 2 points and 4 rebounds in only 10 minutes. Jessica Moore finds Ashley Valley. Valley had a season-high 7 points in 11 first half minutes. And Ann Strother gets one of the Huskies' 4 steals off one of Providence's 11 turnovers and gets 2 of her 7 points. 41-18 the score. The Huskies shoot 56.7% from the floor in the first half, and the points in the paint, the Huskies just killing the undersized Friars 30-8.
I know one number they'd like to improve on there is 1 for 5 from 3-point range. Huskies got to start making their long-range shots.
Friars held their own with UConn off the backboards in the first half. UConn only out-rebounding Providence by 2, 16-14, and UConn is the #1 team in the Big East when it comes to rebounding margin. Providence 1-11 on the year. Pass inside deflected by Crockett, then last touch by Ashley Valley with 10 left on the shot clock. Gina Auriemma's club's 2nd straight game, Megan. They come out of the gates flying, particularly defensively.
Yeah, that's, you know, again, it's so important for this Husky team to start early, get their confidence, because when they don't, we've seen some abysmal shooting performances.
Ball had trouble getting it in, finally found Gard, who will draw the foul on Ashley Valley, her first of the night, and the first on UConn here in the second half. Of course, Meg, when you played here at UConn and then also when you coached here, there was a terrific and very competitive rivalry between these two longtime New England rivals.
It's hard to imagine nowadays, with UConn winning the last 18, that Providence was so terrific back in the late 80s, early 90s. I can remember some classic battles Shania Evans was her point guard. Andrea Mangum, Dottie Van Geem. Those are players from that era that were just unbelievable.
Down low, Jessica Moore with the little jump hook over Snyder. Rebound off of Howard's hands, and then guard will be called for the foul, shoving Crockett. That will be her first, and first on Providence. Friars made the NCAA tournament 5 times in a 7-year period between '86 and '92, but have not made the NCAA tournament since.
First on the team.
Off the inbound, Strother found Moore, and then the rebound goes off Crockett and out of bounds. And maybe the biggest win in Providence history came right here in the 1990 Big East Tournament Championship game when they beat the Huskies in the finals.
Yeah,
You remember that one?
Yeah, unfortunately, I remember that one all too well.
Of course, the next year, UConn rebounded nicely by going to the Final Four for the first time, and who would have known that there would be 7 more to follow. Thomas gets the steal, and then really crossed over on the dribble to get by Snyder. Here comes guard. We played a minute and a half. UConn is yet to score in the second half. Ball left side to Furstenberg, who is yet to score tonight. Susan Yao considers her best all-around player. Pass into the post, stolen by Moore. Up the floor it goes to Valley. Thomas, guarded by the 5'7" guard. Strother behind the Crockett screen. And Crockett goes down low for the rebound, but missed the putback. Moore with another rebound, and she'll draw the foul.
Yeah, for those keeping score at home, 2 minutes have elapsed here, and the fans are still standing in Gamble. The Huskies have not scored yet this half.
Well, it's good exercise.
Yeah, working off all the holiday cookies, and we all ate. God knows I ate too many of them.
Second foul on Ball, and 2 on the team as Moore goes to the free throw line. Chris Daly alluded to that upcoming schedule. We mentioned a couple of times that UConn will play Tennessee on Saturday in Hartford. But then next up on the heels of that will be a visit to Notre Dame a week from tomorrow. We'll have that one for you on CPTV. And the Irish are ranked 3rd in the country. They've only lost 1 time to the Michigan State team that we just saw last week.
So that, and going into South Bend, not an easy place to play anyway.
All right, Notre Dame had won 25 in a row at home before losing to Michigan State. I think Gino Auriemma is a little bit upset with the 5 players on the floor,
yeah,
because they're about to be replaced by 5.
Wholesale substitutions.
So UConn is about to tie an NCAA record for the most substitutions at one time. There they are. Battle, Wolf, Houston, Marin, and Soignier.
Foul charge number 31.
You know, that's one of the things that coaches look at, you know, after the halftime when you have a big lead. How does a team respond coming out in the first 5 minutes? And you always want to get a jump on your opponent, and you can't worry about the score. But see, this team right now is a little bit too mentally, let's just say, young and immature to deal with some things as well as he would like.
So 5 new faces come in. Snyder will shoot the second free throw. Snyder is from Albuquerque and got a chance to go back home and play a couple of games over Thanksgiving in the University of New Mexico tournament. Now the crowd trying to get the Huskies going. They've gone 2.5 minutes without getting on the board here in the second half. Wolf to Marin. Up high to Houston. Backdoor cut to Soignier.
How about an unlikely character to get the Huskies out of their scoring slump and put the fans back in their seats.
Boy, did they sit down in a hurry or what?
They're exhausted.
And Susan Yao will get a timeout. Keisha Soignier off the bench with 6 points, and that is a new career high for the 5'7" freshman from Columbus, Georgia. She had a productive first half, and she's picking up right where she left off. It's UConn out to a 22-point lead over Providence. The Huskies, an astonishing 182-7 in the regular season against the Big East in the last 11 years. They'll step out of the Big East on Saturday. Look at this killer schedule coming up. Tucked in there, by the way, is a game against Villanova between Notre Dame and Texas. But how about that?
Oh my goodness! You think that guy has been stressed a little bit this year? Wait till the next 4 games.
We'll have that Notre Dame game for you here on CPTV. And off the inbound, we're going to get a foul on the Huskies.
It'll be a good test for this team, though, Bob. They need to continue to get better. And this game, I think, coming in is a really important game for them. They took a step forward against St. John's. Well, they don't want to take 2 steps back tonight by not playing well. They came out great in the first half. And they got to continue it because they need to continue to get better and better.
Wolf feeds Houston down low, backs her way in on Howard, and is called for the travel. Turnover number 5 for UConn. That's a very good total to have only 5 turnovers, some 23 minutes into the game.
Yeah, particularly with some of the turnovers we've seen this year. That's astounding.
Neither team can find the ocean from the beach here in the early going in the second half.
Yeah, Providence only launching 1.
Furstenberg gives to Guard, who of course plays a guard position. What else did she play, right? And Houston with the rejection. She's 9th in the Big East in block shots.
Well, I just love her anticipation, her timing. Nasty.
Jumps straight up and not into the shooter. Good technique. Furstenberg beats the shot clock, and Houston with a good box out rebound. Soignier has Marin on the left. Instead, she'll circle and reset the offense. Now finds Marin in front of the UConn bench. Down low, Houston, defended by Howard, who has 3 fouls. Houston misses the shot, gets her own rebound. Held ball, says Bruce Morris, arrow pointing toward Providence.
At this point, I understand that, the post player like that time, Sharday Houston, is open inside, and there is a mismatch, but it's important for the Huskies to continue to run offense. That's not going to be open against Tennessee over the weekend, so you got to run offense and work out all the kinks.
Guard, defended by Marin. Out front on a 2-3 matchup zone. Furstenberg, who still is looking for her first points of the night. Shot clock down to 3. Furstenberg spins, and she'll be called for the travel. Turnover number 14 for Providence. Friars are dead last in the Big East in turnover margin and 6 other categories. 12 games into the season. It's a 22-point lead for UConn. Big night here at Gamble Pavilion and a big day tomorrow in Hartford, Megan.
Yeah, well, Bob, it's sure to be emotional when Governor Jody Rell addresses the Connecticut State Legislature on its opening day. Watch the Connecticut State Legislature Opening Day 2005, hosted by WNPR's Ray Hardman, here tomorrow night at 6:30 and simulcast on WNPR. Hear reports starting at 4 on NPR's All Things Considered.
Emotional because Governor Rell is recovering from breast cancer surgery, and we'd like to wish her a hello and a very speedy recovery. And obviously she's recovering very nicely and ready to resume her duties tomorrow. Governor is certainly a big fan of UConn basketball, and I'm sure she was impressed by that inside move by Sharday Houston. Makes it look easy, doesn't she?
Oh, she does. She can just score in so many different ways and gives this Husky team such a different look when she's on the floor and playing well.
15th turnover for Providence. Once Gino Auriemma made that 5-player substitution, he's stuck with this 5. Wolf with the miss. No one put a body on Houston.
Yeah, she's one person for sure. You do not want to leave alone anywhere in the lane.
So Houston with 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, along with a couple of block shots. The 4 assists are a career high. Furstenberg will draw the foul. I believe it is on Battle. Number 1 on her and number 4 on UConn here in the second half.
Foul line number 22.
So to the line will go Furstenberg. This one of 2 games in the Big East tonight. In the other one, Pittsburgh with a 5-point lead at home over St. John's, and Panthers jumped out of the gates with an impressive conference opener, winning at Syracuse on Sunday.
Give some credit to former Husky Shea Ralph, an assistant coach.
Pittsburgh began the season with 6 straight wins, and Pittsburgh and Syracuse and St. John's are probably the 3 most improved teams in the Big East this year. Rutgers, which always has a good team, is certainly making a lot of headlines with the back-to-back wins over Tennessee and then Texas, beating Texas on the road. Marin will draw the foul. And how about in successive games, Vivian Stringer defeating head-to-head the 2 winningest coaches in women's basketball history in Pat Summitt and Jody Conrad.
Yeah, this is a week that Vivian Stringer will not soon forget.
Third on the team, Stacey Marin shooting 2 free throws.
She's also a member of that 700 club.
Yes, she is. Well, they're up in the 800s.
Yeah.
They're the 800 club all alone.
That's just
those
ridiculous.
2. And tomorrow night, Rutgers will play undefeated and top-ranked LSU at the Lewis Brown Athletic Center in Piscataway, more affectionately known as the Rack for Rutgers Athletic Center. A lot of teams have felt like they've spent some time on the Rack when they go in there. Furstenberg. Defended by Soignier. Inside, forced it. Turnover number 16. Soignier quickly explodes by everybody.
That's where her speed is so noticeable, that with the basketball up the floor, she can run faster than those without.
Extending her career high to 8 points. Houston will be called for the reach-in foul. That will be number 1 on her and 5 on UConn.
Now, how about this? There are people that are supposed to be sprinting back on defense, right? That's what you're told to do. And how about Charday, or rather, Keisha. Keisha can get the ball up the floor. I mean, Furstenberg did a pretty good job of trying to keep her in front of her. But Soignier is just so fast with the basketball.
Rashida Sadiq comes in and gets the block. 1-on-2. Soignier to the trailer, Houston.
This is an element of the Huskies game that we really haven't seen too much this season, the fast break.
8 points off the bench for Houston. Huskies extend that 23-point halftime lead to 29. The second unit, now with Sadiq in there, has been very impressive. The miss by Ball, rebound Snyder, side of the rim, and here's Wolf on a hop. Hesitation dribble, leaves for Marin for 3. Rebound inside Sadiq, then Houston comes away, she's got 10.
This place would have erupted as Stacey Marin knocked in that 3. It was halfway down.
So Houston in double figures for the 6th time in 11 games in her career. Snyder, left side, didn't even get to the rim, but it was last touched by Wolf. Shot clock did not recycle because it didn't hit the rim. So 20 seconds to shoot for the Friars. Ball to Furstenberg. 12.5 minutes remaining. UConn by 31. Ball goes by Marin, fed it inside, knocked away, comes back to Ball. Last touch by the Huskies with 6 on the shot clock. Ball tries to feed it inside. Snyder lays it up. Now that won't go down as one of your ESPN Classic possessions, but they come away with the 2 points. Look at Soignier go from end to end.
Talk about a classic. Oh, my goodness.
So Soignier now with 10 points. She has doubled her career high. She had 5 points against Hartford on December 7th. And in very limited playing time tonight, she reaches double figures for the first time in her career. And Susan Yao wants to talk it over with 12:04 remaining. And the Huskies extend that lead to 31 points. And probably making the best thing to come out of this one has been the play of this second unit off the bench in the second half. And particularly with the freshman, we already knew that Houston was good, but Soignier really playing her best game since early in the season.
Yeah, and you know, Bob, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I think the fact that there's not as much pressure on her and having to start and run this team, she's come in with 0 pressure. You see the way she just exploded up the floor. She's so quick and pushes that ball out in front of her. and there's just nobody stopping her. She's so fun to watch, and we haven't had a lot of opportunity to see her play because she was put into a situation where she had to walk the ball up the floor and run an offense when that is not her strength, and she's not as comfortable with it. She's got to grow into that position, and as we've discussed many times, not many freshmen can come in this program and run the offense because of the intricacies of it.
Perhaps the two biggest question marks for the Huskies entering the season. The obvious one, how in the world would they react to the departure of the brilliant Diana Taurasi? And how would they replace Maria Conlon at the point, because they really don't have a natural point guard on the team with any experience entering the season. So Soignier got the job initially. She may wind up with it in the long run too. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. It's a long season.
Mel Thomas certainly is more suited for the two-guard spot, but has done a nice job.
Yeah, and you know, she played some point last year in high school. And let's not forget that last year's entire class of Kiana Robinson, Kia Wright, yeah,
and Liz Sherwood.
That entire recruiting class is departing.
3-on-1. Wolf keeps it herself. Lead is 33. Wolf was the McDonald's National Player of the Year 3 years ago when she was a senior at Walpole High School in Massachusetts. An 11-2 UConn run is up the lead to 33, and Houston with another block shot. Here's Soignier. This is like a track meet. Sadiq finishes. It's like the court is tilted.
Yeah, and it looks as if many times Providence is just running uphill.
Furstenberg. Snyder, kick out to guard to Furstenberg. She's called for the travel, and that's turnover number 17. 11 UConn players have played tonight, and 11 UConn players have scored. Well, that young lady is not alone in that thought, but she has to learn when you're on TV, you got to hold the sign up higher so we can see her face.
She's shy.
She's wearing the number 43.
Absolutely.
And there is the real number 43. Ann Strother, a preseason nominee for Player of the Year. Keisha Soignier might be the player of the night.
Well, she's just come in and she's made an impact every time she's entered the game, whether it was in the half-court offense or whether it's exploding out and finishing on the break. Or here, a nice back cut to get the first points of the second half. And again, exploding, recognizing that there's no defense in her way. And she can turn it off and on in a hurry.
Well, Soignier has 10 off the bench, and Sharday Houston gets another basket in the paint, so she's got a dozen. 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists for Sharday Houston, along with 4 block shots for the second game in a row. And this one's going against the Friars.
Yeah, very productive 17 minutes so far for Sharday Houston.
Sarah Brinskaya called for the foul, her second, and number 4 on the Friars. So
nice. Soignier hasn't missed a shot here.
Well, Soignier averaged 23 points a game 2 years ago as a junior at Columbus High School in Georgia. In her senior year, she was the Class 4A Player of the Year in the state. Well, you jinxed it. Finally missed one.
I did. I'm sorry, Keisha. I apologize.
Now 5 of 6 from the floor. That'll kill that shooting percentage. Her shooting percentage is remarkably high, by the way, because she hasn't taken many shots. Entering the game, she was 6 of 14, so you throw in the 5 of 6. What do we got there? 11 for 20. That's 55%. Furstenberg on the drive, shovels it inside. Sarah Brinskaya with the shot clock winding down, takes a wild shot. And here comes Soignier. Friars look like they're running out of gas here.
Yeah, they just look really, really winded.
Houston cuts for the basket, and Soignier finds it.
And that's what happens defensively. The breakdowns occur because you're tired. Mentally, you can't focus. You can't communicate with each other because you're really too busy sucking wind. You can't talk.
UConn starting five may not get back in this game. They left less than 3 minutes into the second half, and none of the 5's been back. Sarah Brinskaya kissing it off the glass.
And there don't seem to be any gestures to get them back in.
Well, no sooner did we say that. And There's number 43 kneeling at the scorer's table. Probably because this unit on the floor is getting tired. Actually, Mel Thomas is back on the floor. Sadiq down low, misses the reverse layup, but will draw the foul on Sarah Brinskaya, her third, and number 5 on the Friars.
You know, we talked all year about the Huskies struggling offense and you know, Mel Thomas, who hasn't been able to shoot the ball, but it's really more confidence. And this guy knows it, that you need games like this. You need games like the St. John's game on Sunday to just work on their confidence. And they're going to start to play the way that we in Connecticut are used to seeing them play. It's just, you know, there are ups and downs. And you know, fortunately for all the fans in Connecticut, there haven't been any downs in the last 10 years.
So the hand for Houston who leaves, and the free throw shooting woes for the Huskies, particularly in their 3 losses. Boy, those are some ugly numbers. For the year, entering tonight's game, 57.8%, 10th in the 12-team Big East, and that can come back and bite you down the road.
Oh yeah, and it's all mental. It has nothing to do with talent or skill, or, you know, they shoot a ton of them every day in practice. It's completely between the ears.
2-3 UConn zone. Snyder tries to feed inside to Howard. Rebound comes down to Howard, and then Soignier took it away, and here she comes. Has Thomas left and Wolf right. Thomas takes the pass from Strother as we approach the 8-minute mark. Soignier feeds inside to Sadiq.
You know, the decision making is getting so much better for the Huskies in the half court. Good decision by Soignier with the shuffle pass to Sadiq.
6th assist of the night for Soignier. First, 5th, and 6th points of the night for Sadiq, the junior college transfer who comes from Nigeria. Played at Central Arizona Junior College. Played for Nigeria in the Olympics this summer. Brown finds Furstenberg in front of the Providence bench. Shot clock running down. And I don't know whether that was a shot or a pass. It doesn't matter because it wound up in Sadiq's hands. And there's another assist for Soignier.
You know, we're all seeing what Keisha Soignier is capable of. We haven't seen many glimpses of this thus far this season, but we are seeing quite a show here tonight.
She's got 10 points on 5 of 6 shooting and 7 assists. And nailing the jumper for her first points of the night is Christina Ball. Sophomore from Boston. Played on a couple of New England prep school championship teams at Tabor Academy. In her junior and senior years, those teams went 49-1. How tough must it be for
what
her
a rude awakening
coming out of that program to go through this 26-game losing streak. Deflected out of bounds. It will be UConn ball when we come back. Soignier with 10 points and 7 assists. Here's the 7th one, setting up her fellow first-year player, Rashida Sadiq. It is a shorthanded Providence team tonight. There's one reason why. Gail Wafili, a junior from Maplewood, New Jersey, perhaps the Friars' best player, suffered a season-ending knee injury in preseason practice on November 3rd. And Providence also without Savannah Price, a freshman from Saginaw, Michigan, who was averaging 5 points per game and is missing her 5th straight game tonight, Megan, after undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery. So those 2 losses don't help at all.
No, especially Wafili, because coming into the season, she's a lone senior on this club. She was their leading scorer and rebounder, and was really going to set the stage for things in the middle. And then, you know, when that happens, it's like a domino effect. And then Price gets hurt, and then, you know, all the dominoes are falling down.
Not only that, but Susan Yao told me that Wafili had really embraced her leadership role, and now they're looking for a new leader. Sadiq lays it up inside with time running down off the shot clock.
I have never seen this season the UConn bench react like that as they did after Sadiq's nice up and under move in the lane.
She's got 8 points, averaged 24 a game last year in junior college. Second highest scorer in the country among junior college players. Wolf runs the break, leaves for Valley, and now Thomas will reset the offense as we approach the 6-minute mark.
I feel for Furstenberg on the offensive end. She just can't hit a shot tonight.
Yeah, plus she's absolutely exhausted. I don't think she's been out of the game tonight.
No, I don't think she has.
And she played all 40 against Villanova the other day. No, she hadn't been out.
Nope.
Sadiq with the miss, but she'll draw the foul.
And
This
now,
foul will be on Howard, her 4th.
for some of the little things and the steps that you have to take, as we see Soignier,
Foul charge number 50.
those numbers, oh my goodness, 7 assists tonight alone, and that's what she had in the last 5 games.
Plus, she only had 16 points, period, first 10 games of her career, and she's got 10 tonight. And we saw her, first of all, the style of the game is lending itself more to her style with the transition opportunities, but she's certainly playing with much more confidence.
Right.
And
that's attributed to her practice habits every day, getting better, and not having to run this team, but just coming in and being able to play the way she knows she can play.
10 points for Sadiq, her second double-figure scoring game. She had 12 in her UConn debut against Buffalo. Friars turn it over for the 20th time, and Wolf hits the jumper.
Boy, does Nicole Wolf look like a different player here tonight, too. We've seen recently, Bob, Nicole looking a little tentative out there. Not so this evening.
Left side jumper, no good by Shields. Rebound, Howard. Ball. Trying to look inside, nothing there. Furstenberg. Into the post it goes to Howard. And along the baseline, taken away by UConn, but I think Sadiq may have been in contact with the baseline, so it will be Providence ball with 13 left. Now they're going to recycle the shot clock. They said that UConn actually took away the possession, and then Providence gets it back. Furstenberg looking, and gives to Howard, who had her man sealed off, but she had her weight on the backboard. Now Howard just throws Wolf aside.
What a smart play by Stacey Marin to dive on the floor and saw the Providence player coming and just flipped it over to the right because she couldn't do anything else with it.
And then the reach-in foul committed on the perimeter by Ball, her 3rd, and that's 7 on Providence. So UConn, in the midst of a 22-2 run, will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
Something, the lineup that changed on Sunday and then tonight as well with Mel Thomas and then Ashley Valley in the backcourt, Bob. I think inserting Ashley Valley into the starting lineup with this particular group of players that we've seen in the last 2 games, I thought that made a huge difference. It's one of those subtle changes that it gives Mel Thomas the feeling that I don't have to run the point because there's another guard in here with me that has tons of experience, knows how to run the offense, does it every day in practice. I think there's not enough said about what Ashley Valley is capable of doing, just playing her role on this team.
Well, they'll get a big-time test Saturday against Tennessee and next Wednesday against Notre Dame. Wolf with the miss, Sadiq with the putback. And then Marin tries to save and goes into the UConn cheerleaders, and then actually asked if they were okay on her way back onto the floor.
That's Stacey Marin. So considerate. And that's part of the problem. Some of the other kids. You think Jen Rosati ever would have asked anybody if they were okay?
I don't think Larry Bird ever did. You saw on your screen for a moment there, our next telecast a week from tomorrow, UConn at Notre Dame from the Joyce Center in South Bend, 7 o'clock on CPTV on January 12th, in between a nationally televised game between the Huskies and Tennessee. Shot clock violation on the Friars, their 22nd turnover. Soignier will re-enter when we return. UConn is about to win its 54th straight game at Gamble Pavilion. UConn well on its way to winning its 17th straight Big East home opener.
Bob, if you are a serious wine collector or just starting out, make your reservation now for CPBI's 16th annual Wine on Ice, Connecticut's premier wine auction, Thursday, January 20th. The evening will feature a lavish buffet with an organic martini bar and champagne Dutz reception. Fine wine tastings and both live and silent auctions. Go online now or call for more information and reservations.
Sounds like a great idea to me. 3:45 remaining. Huskies ball leading 77-29. Valley down low to Sadiq, shoots over Howard. And that will be foul number 5 on Danielle Howard, freshman from Willingboro, New Jersey, who's the leading shot blocker for the Friars. And Sadiq will go to the line, shoot a couple, and a chance to equal her career high.
Placing Howard in the Providence.
Sadiq, in 2 seasons at Central Arizona Junior College, scored a school record 1,629 points.
Sadiq shooting 2 free throws.
And she knocks down the first one.
And this is what I'm talking about. Now, it's not as easy to see at home, but Mel, she's got the tape on her knees. She may have to do the Jen Rosati and just put knee pads on eventually, because the bruising I can see on her knees from courtside is a little bit clearer than you can see at home watching on television. The child, her knees are they've actually changed colors.
They've changed colors since the game started tonight. Inside the 3.5-minute mark, in the lane to Sarah Brinskaya. Sadiq with those 2 free throws equals her career high of 12 points. And now she gets a block shot, but will be called for the foul. And Sarah Brinskaya will go to the free throw line. We mentioned that this Providence team, of course, is trying to turn this ship around. And Susan Yao told me when I dismissed 2 players last year, I knew right then and there I was making a decision to start over. It's going to take 2 more good recruiting classes to turn it around, but I do believe there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
And, you know, she has to believe it. And they'll do it. You just got to keep bringing in better and better kids. And let's be honest, Providence isn't the easiest place to recruit to, and you just got to hope that the administration gives her the support that she needs.
Last year, Providence went 4-23 and lost all 14 Big East games. Didn't qualify for the Big East tournament. Well, that's one way to try to fight your way through a screen.
Yeah, just bowl over the screener.
That's what Shields did. And Soignier will go to the line.
I think that's going on in the Orange Bowl, not here in Stores.
Yes. Great matchup in the Orange Bowl tonight between a couple of undefeated teams. You realize it's the first time in college football history that 2 Heisman Trophy winners are playing in the same game. Think about that. They've been playing a lot of college football games.
That's amazing. That's the first time.
UConn will host the Big East tournament for the 2nd of 6 consecutive years at the Civic Center. And there are the numbers and the website on your screen to get tickets. Furstenberg misses the shot. Long rebound, last touch by the Huskies with 2:25 to go. UConn is 18-4 in Big East home openers, including the last 16. Wild miss by Brown, but Thomas touched it last.
You see Thomas boxing out that time and did a really nice job of taking a hold of Ciara Shields' left arm.
So 2 players have equaled career highs and a third a season high tonight. Well, they didn't get the timeout before the 5-second violation. So that will be turnover number 23 on Susan Yao's club. She was kidding. Of course, her sister Kay is one of the winningest coaches ever. And she said, my sister Kay has 600 wins. I'm trying to get to 600 losses.
You know, if you don't have your sense of humor, you don't have anything.
That's right. Thomas. Soignier inside 10 is the shot clock. Goes around the Sadiq screen. Throws up the shot. No good. Rebound loose on the floor. And Sarah Brinskaya comes away with it inside the 2-minute mark. UConn is among the league leaders in defense, and tonight's effort won't hurt that at all. They lead the Big East in scoring defense, allowing 49 points per game, and field goal defense. Their opponents are shooting only 31.8% from the floor. And Providence shooting only 25% tonight. St. John's shot 22% Sunday.
Well, as Gino Auriemma has been quoted recently saying, you know, if you play defense and rebound, you got a chance in every game you play.
Well, I think everybody was involved in that held ball, and Shields may have gotten the worst of it. Huskies show good sportsmanship by helping her to her feet. And to add insult to injury, the arrow pointing toward UConn with 1:10 to go.
It's just been that kind of night for Providence.
Next up for the Friars will be their Big East home opener against West Virginia on Saturday at Alumni Hall. Marin with the miss, and the rebound pulled down by Brown inside the final minute. Nice move by guard, counted, and the foul on Marin.
That was a late call. I mean, I thought there was definitely contact. Marin's feet got caught up a little bit right there. That's why you don't cross your feet. You're supposed to slide them. Nice little explosion there by Ball to keep Marin off balance.
So with that free throw, the Friars will avoid having their lowest scoring output, not only this season, but in their history. They scored a record low 32 in a loss to LaSalle earlier this year. That gives them 33 with 40 seconds left. Sadiq down low. She's got a career high 16 points.
And going back in Providence's history, there were games when Bob Foley was the coach. They used to score 100 points every game. Easy.
Friars won their only Big East tournament in 1990. Last time they beat UConn was in the semifinals of the Big East tournament at Alumni Hall in Providence on March 7th, 1993. Rebound Sarah Brinskaya. I think the officials will overlook that step or two too many.
The fans want that call. Are they kidding?
And that'll end it. So UConn takes an 8-0 lead out of the gates, 41-18 at halftime, and they go on to win it by 50. Final 83-33. Rashida Sadiq and Keisha Soigné with career highs. Ashley Valley with a season high. And the Huskies extend a number of streaks, not the least of which is they have now won 164 consecutive home games against unranked opponents. Last time team beat them, Georgetown in 1993. Final again, UConn 83-30.
Yeah, I thought we got off to a good start because we put the ball in the post, which is where we wanted to put it. And I thought we were pretty aggressive. You know, Wilnett got it going early, you know, and but I think anytime our defense is good, you know, we got a chance to get out on the break and force the issue a little bit, you know, and we've got to play like that. We got to get some easy baskets because, you know, if we're trying to do it in a half-court set all the time, it's not easy.
Well, getting on the break tonight, we saw Keisha Soigné show some of her stuff that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, you know, we've been trying to get her to play like that, to constantly be up-tempo and push the ball, and today was really the first time that she's been able to do that. And that's kind of what we expected when we recruited her, you know. But it's taken her a while to get to this point, and I'm hoping that from here on in she can build on this a little bit. Not to say she's not going to have any setbacks, but, you know, that's obviously something that nobody else on our team can do. So I would love to see a little more of that from her.
Barbara Turner, obviously a big concern for everybody not being in the game today. Is she going to play Saturday, do you know?
Well, we're waiting to see. She was complaining last week that there was some pain in her foot. She had some tests run yesterday. We're waiting to hear today. I'll probably know something later on tonight. I hope she can go, but you know, there's a lot more games coming up at the end of the season that are a lot more important than Saturday's game. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll know more tomorrow.
Well, I have a bone to pick with you because the last time I interviewed you, you said you were going to wear the sweater again, and you clearly lied to me.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say I was going to wear the sweater.
You did.
First of all, you know, the sweater thing was a one-shot deal at St. John's. And besides, you can't imitate. You know, there's only one Louis, you know, so you can't pretend to be somebody else.
Snyder had 13 points. Friars shot just 24.5% from the floor. Huskies shot 54.8%. UConn now 8-3, 2-0 in the Big East. They'll host Tennessee Saturday in Hartford. Providence slips to 1-12. So for Megan Kumo, I'm Bob Picozzi. Thank you for joining us. Our next Connecticut women's game on CPTV January 12th when the Huskies visit Notre Dame. Coming up next, welcome to Mars, a trip back to the Red Planet on Nova. It's next on CPTV. The preceding has been a production of Connecticut Public Television. UConn beats Providence 83-33. Good night, everyone.